Hey everyone, this is Brainwaves, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to create Leftfield Bass like SAKA. This whole project file, as usual, is available on my Patreon along with many others, so feel free to check the link in the description if you want to get it, and let's get started. BPM for this one is 140. The drums by themselves sounds like this. So I just have a kick and a snare, a hi-hat going on a, I don't know if this is like a triplet pattern or like a swing pattern or what is it exactly, but it just has like a cool rhythm to it. And I'm using a little bit of auto pan to move the hi-hat from left to right in the stereo image. The snare is pretty dry, the kick doesn't have anything on it, and then I have like a little crash and ride every 2 bars. Sounds like this. It has a ton of reverb and delay, and that just repeats throughout the whole drop. Then for my synths, I'm using Vital. The main lead sounds like this. You can see that I created some macros just to evolve things around in the drop, so I'm gonna cover that in a second. But let me mute the post-processing first, and then I'll go through that. What I'm using is a harmonic series in the first wavetable, frame around there, level around there. I'm automating the decay and the sustain with the second LFO. I then enable a second oscillator sine wave FMing to the first oscillator. And I'm automating the FM amount outside of Vital with this automation in here, and modulating the wavetable position of the harmonic series with this other automation. So you can see how it's increasing and increasing the wavetable position, and then it does the same thing on the second time around. So that's just helping to create like an evolving sound during time. On the effects, I have distortion, hard clipping mode, a filter that is being modulated by this first LFO, envelope mode 1/4. Notice that the filter is also being automated outside of Vital with this automation, so it starts like this, and then it jumps to that being way more open in the filter. So what I'm modulating exactly is the cutoff amount of the filter. And I have chorus with these values. Reverb. And compressor multiband. Then outside of the patch, I put saturator and a utility dropping the volume. Then erosion. And an EQ just cutting the sub, because I have a sub bass layer that I will cover in a second. That's it for the main bass. My sub bass, I just duplicated the lead synth and I took some things out. For example, I don't have the harmonic series anymore. I have the same sine wave, but I added a couple of harmonics in there with the wavetable editor. The envelope is still being modulated. I'm also modulating a little bit of the level with the second LFO. And then I have soft clip and distortion and a filter. So both layers together, they sound like this. The main group has some reverb automations in here. Every time it gets like a little bit louder and louder, more noticeable, and that's kind of like part of the progress that I want the drop to have. Then I have this little fill. So the Vital patch for that is just the initial wavetable with some compression multiband mode and some signed fold distortion. That's how that sounds. Then I put some erosion. And I put an EQ boosting the sub, the low mids, and the mid range. Finally, I put the reverb automation. There is this other fill, it sounds like this. Actually, when I created the drop, I made it in Serum first, but then I decided that if I'm gonna have like all the other sounds to be in Vital, that it would be better to recreate the same fill using Vital, so that's what I did. But I'm gonna leave the Serum version in the project file as well if you guys want to get that, just because I feel like it sounds cleaner for some reason versus this one. It's pretty similar. You'll have both if you get the project file, but I'll cover the Vital version in this tutorial. In the oscillators, I have a sine wave first. Second oscillator is also a sine wave. FMing is being modulated by the third oscillator, which is this one. The level of the second oscillator is being modulated by the LFO 1, same as with the third oscillator. The third oscillator has 12 semitones up, so 1 octave up in pitch, and the harmonic series is around there. You can see that the envelope has this shaping here. That's how that sounds. Then I put a sampler, white noise generator basically, and same deal with the LFO being modulated, 1/4 envelope mode around there. Then on the effects I have chorus, those parameters, distortion, soft clipping, pause for drinking water, oh my god, compressor, multiband, reverb being modulated by the LFO 1. That's it for the patch. Then I have saturator, sinode fold, these parameters in here. And then I have a EQ cutting the sub bass because I have another layer for that, and cutting some like resonant frequencies in there and boosting around 7K. Finally, I put a reverb automation in there. And for my sub bass, it's just my sub rack. Yep. So I think one key takeaway from this drop is just how I am evolving the lead every time. It's not static at all. I have like various movements, like from the filter to the wavetable position to the FM amount. I think all of that is helping to make this drop feel like more alive and like progressing over time. Finally, I have some fills, just like simple impacts and stuff like that, with a ton of reverb once again. And this other one crashing here. that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. As I mentioned, the whole project file is available on my Patreon if you want to get it, and I'm also offering one-on-one coaching. So if you want to get on a Zoom call with me, feel free to check the link in the description for that. Please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I hope I see you around.